James Willison is the founder of Unified Security, and Sarb Sembhi is Director of Consulting Services at Incoming Thought. James and Sarb, you're both speaking at the Global Security Summit in London on 11th of October on the subject of convergence. What do you both think of the premise behind GSS as an end-user show in the capital?
Well, first of all, we're delighted to be invited to speak at this show, and we realise that many people will come with a view to looking at what are the security risks to their business. And this is the kind of thing we want to really look at and examine and discuss with people that come. And so we very much feel honoured to be invited to the event.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. I think it's good to see that there's more events like this, and not only that there's more events like this, but there are events like this that are promoting education to a lot of professionals, and that's how we're involved in this show, that we are on the education sessions. The session, as you said, we're covering is on convergence. It's a topic that we've worked around for several years together, and it's a topic that I think is vital and important to this event, and it's one that's going to be important in the future to this event as well.
Now, James, can you elaborate on why the converged management of business risk is now so important?
Yes, absolutely. I think over the years, since maybe 2000, people have been looking at risks across the business, and in particular security risks, and how they might be affecting IT and physical and data and all kinds of risks that there are involved. But we're now seeing more interdependency and more multiplicity of risk, which means that we need to be aware of where the risks are. And it's important in respect that ASIS, for example, have produced a standard on physical asset protection. But when you look at the standard, there's a huge amount of effort has been put into risk, and risk across the business, across the functions. So it asks for a cross-functional and cross-disciplinary approach. It says that you've got to have a common risk approach to risk, not just say look at it from a physical point of view. Because physical is so much dependent on networks now, you really do have to meet and spend time with your colleagues in all areas of security. And in this respect, convergence is what we're talking about here. We're fully aware of the systems being converged, and no one can escape from the fact that they are. But we're looking at how you manage those systems. Are you managing them in a unified way, or are you managing them in a perhaps disjointed and, to be fair, a siloed approach? So in recent years, the problem of silos and splits between departments, IT security sitting in IT, physical security sitting in facilities, and then never the twain really meet and discuss what's going on. So this is what we want to address and bring together and change. And in a way, this is being changed partly by the standard, because the standard is actually saying this is the problem, this is what you should do, and it says you should have common lines of communication, common reporting mechanisms, and common risk processes. If you don't have these common risk processes, then things are going to fall down. And so we're going to be looking at some of that, looking at what the standard says. We're very pleased that, for example, many people in the Security Institute, as well as ASIS and as well as ISARCA, have been involved in the standard. So it's not just been written by ASIS, it's been written by ISARCA, IT, ISIS Squared, various people from the forum that we were involved in, and Sarb was involved in it. So we can see a standard being formed that's really helpful.